So today I would like to show you how we keep Silkie chickens in the suburbs. We live in a townhouse attached to another home. Our neighbor lives right there, and we have another neighbor right there. So you can see that is our entire backyard. And so I'll be taking you through the backyard today just to show you how we keep our Silkie chickens in a suburb and in the winter. So we have 4 Silkie chickens, and what we do for them in the winter is they don't like walking on snow. So we snow plow a path for them, and we fill it with straw, and we make a nice little run for them so they have a place to run around. There's Sammy. Hi, Sammy. And so one of the things we do here is we keep an open compost system. This is it here. I've blocked it off with a doggy playpen to keep the chickens from eating in there because they get sick if they eat moldy food. It's open so it decomposes faster through natural rainfall, and it doesn't have any bad smell to it. So this is where, when we clean the chicken coop, we put the shavings and the bedding, the straw, and any waste that they make in this compost, and we turn it and water it occasionally. And yeah. And this is where we have our chicken coop. And so actually this is the door to our garage. And so we put the coop right beside our garage, kind of hidden in this corner of our home. What we started with is we put down a square of sand. We were not expecting to keep the chickens in this small space. This is really where they sleep and eat, and they have a dust bath. We don't actually have to clean the sand ever, almost. In the summer, sometimes we'll just rake it to refresh it a bit. But otherwise, we have almost no maintenance of the sand whatsoever because the chickens are never confined to the space. They always are able to go out and walk through our whole backyard, and we only have 4, so the waste they produce is quite small. We have an Eglu Go Up chicken coop, which is a phenomenal chicken coop made by a Canadian company. It's really great if you live in the suburbs or have a very small chicken flock. It's been working really great for us. We have their water dish here, which is an igloo water dish that comes with the coop, and we've just put a water heater in the water to ensure it doesn't freeze. Here in Canada, we get a lot of snow and below freezing temperatures for a good portion of the year, so that ensures that their water does not freeze. Here we have an extension cord that we've run from our garage to this little unit here, where we're able to access power. And so this is really useful because we also have, what I'll be showing you later, a little heater system in the coop for nighttime. And this, we're able to power the electronic heater pad with this power setup. Here they have their oyster shell and grit and their chicken food and a dust bath. What we've done is, because the igloo coop just comes with this little tarp, it's not enough to keep snow away from the run area. And when it's really terrible weather, they don't like going out at all. They tend to stay just in their coop. And so we felt bad that they were mostly just staying in their little house in there, which is way too small of a space for 4 chickens to be hanging out all day throughout the winter. So we decided to put this, it's basically a plastic cover on metal poles. And so what this has done is it's just created, oh, there's Alfie, our cat. It's just created a system where no snow falls within the run and within the coop area. And so if the weather is really terrible, we have a really terrible snowstorm, the chickens can just hang out in the run or underneath this cover. And what's great is this cover has these windows, which we keep rolled up. And then there's just a very fine mesh here, which ensures continued airflow and ventilation. But they don't really get any snow in here. And occasionally some snow will blow in from the front door toward the entrance, and so we've put a heat lamp here, which is just serving to melt the snow in the sandy area here, just so it continues to keep their coop warm and dry. But honestly, I almost never ever see them under that heat lamp. I don't think I've ever seen them really using it for heat. It's more just to keep the area clear of snow. Going back here, every night we are able to use this to open and close the door of the coop. So I'll just show you how that opens and closes. And so every night we close them in this little house for sleeping, so they're safe from any predators. Because we're in the suburb, we don't really have predators here, but Occasionally we will see aerial predators fly by, and the chickens will go hiding under the bushes or hedges. So I suppose an aerial predator in theory could occur. We also have neighborhood cats, but our cats mostly keep those neighborhood cats away from our chickens, and we've taught our cats not to bother our chickens. So they're kind of our chicken protectors in a way. And then here is the actual house inside. We like to fill it with a lot of straw in the winter, so they're really toasty and it helps keep the warmth in. The door is closed at night, and then this black thing is basically a chicken coop heat generator. And so just at nighttime we turn it on because we only have 4 chickens. When they're in this little house, still like half or more of the house is totally empty, and so I was worried that because there's not enough chickens to generate body heat, that they would get too cold in here. And our temperatures can get to minus 20, minus 30 Celsius. It can get extremely freezing. So whenever it goes below minus 10 at night, we just check the weather before going to bed. If we see it's going to go below minus 10 Celsius, then we just turn on this heat pad on setting 1. And if it goes below minus 20 at night, we set it to heat level 2. And they love it. They just press up against this while they sleep, and it just keeps them toasty. We always turn it off during the day and open the door and let them out to play, because we really do want them to maintain their winter feathers and maintain their ability to stay warm themselves in cold weather. And so in the fall, we don't use any supplemental heat whatsoever. We only start using, the water heater to prevent the water from freezing when it starts getting below 0. Otherwise, we try to avoid using the heat until it gets really, really cold, because we do want them to get in their winter feathers and, learn to keep themselves warm. I just push this door in and then turn this, and that locks it in. It's really, really easy. Every morning we just make sure they have their food, their water, their oyster shells, and their grit. We open the door, and at night we close them up for the night and turn on their heater if it's really going to be a freezing night. And that's mostly it. And then once every week we change the shavings and we clean out the tray in their little house. But otherwise we have very little maintenance. When the winter's over, we're going to take down this bigger tent, and so it'll just be the Eglu Coop left. And then they basically love running around our whole backyard and eating the grass in the summer. In the winter we try as long as possible to make their lives better, and so we'll put the straw down here in this little tunnel. My husband will snowplow a tunnel for them. We'll put straw down, and then we'll actually throw cracked corn all around the path, so they can go searching for cracked corn in the winter. And it really helps keep them happy in the winter and prevent them from getting depressed or plucking their feathers or things like that. So yeah, that's how we keep our silkies happy in Canadian winter.